Alright. See, I have to update my Kirk. I don't have time for fucking on that. If I miss this game, so be it. Hello, everybody. I've been going over stuff with Charlie Kirk and stuff like that. And there was some stuff that I did agree on and stuff that I hated the guy's views on. I gotta say, both sides, Democrats and Republicans, I have nothing to hate for those, both sides, the religious people, sects and stuff like that, and the extremists on the left. Thing is, you voice an opinion about, different sides, religious people, and you talk a certain way against LGBTQ and people attacking them and stuff like that, instead of just letting people live the way they want to. And you expect people to want to kill you. I expect that with me. I come from the streets, so that, been around violence. I've been around violence and stuff like that when I was younger and everything. I've had people want to kill me when I was younger, and stuff like that. And, beefs come and go in life, younger, stuff like that and everything. And the thing is, it's like, you talk about a certain group, I talk about a certain group. I talk about, my hate of the government, because of injustice the government has been doing, the criminality of government, stuff like that. You gotta expect people to hate you, and some people want you dead. And it's like, if you can't handle it, get the fuck off of YouTube. Don't voice your stupid opinion. There are people crying about this and that, how wrong it may be and stuff like that. It's like, you gotta expect it. I expect it. I expect, me doing sex work. Layla Mickelweight, that bitch. Putting out stuff years ago about, her husband, having a sniper rifle ready to kill people like us. And it's like, well, bitch, you come after us, we'll be ready for you. Somebody comes after me, I gotta protect myself from extremists and stuff like that. It's both sides. That's the fucking problem. And back in my day, I'm older than most other people on YouTube and these other places, right? And back in the day, we learned to get along more often. It's just within the last, 10 years, how both sides, the religious right and the extreme left, that's really fucked things up. And, the right say, well, unless you conform to our religious standards, how a woman's supposed to be, you can't be gay or lesbian, that's going to piss people off. This stuff, I mean, what the fuck do you expect? There's some stuff that I agree with Charlie Kirk on, and other stuff that really pissed me off, right? And it's like, it goes with the territory. There are people that want to kill you for speaking, a certain way. That's a human response to it. And if you can't handle it, don't go on YouTube, don't go on Kick, don't go on Rumble, and say stuff. Keep it to gaming or whatever. I was talking to some guys, that have been in jail and seen violence and stuff like that and everything. Stuff that we've gone through and stuff, PTSD, ghosts in the cell, dead inmates, their ghosts around, crazy shit. And me, I hate both sides the way they are. I think they are toxic, they are trash, and it's like they just, one side, the left in particular, is more on, going out, burning stuff down, violence more. Where the right, they go after the LGBTQ stuff and immigration stuff and everything. And I don't like either side. I don't respect them because they don't give a shit about the people. They don't. They put on a front. They put on an act. And they blame the other side. I have no respect for that. And I mean, I've attacked Charlie Kirk, and there's some stuff I did agree with them on. And it's like, when you voice an opinion, there's a lot of crazy people out there that want you dead if they killed the guy. And everybody has a right to their opinions, but doing it is a different thing. You don't do it. Stuff like that. And, I've talked, how a lot of people, politicians should be swimming with the fishies and stuff like that. And everything else and stuff, or the crimes that they commit. And a lot of people, when you have millions of people, Charlie Kirk had millions of people. And so he had a strong voice. People can say, well, that's just his opinion. The thing is, his voice has power. And the more powerful you get, the more of a target that you're going to have. Whether you're left or right or whatever. You're more of a target. And it's like, I remember some people, when I was on the street sometimes, there are people that I'd be always a target for some as well. I know it's like to be a target and stuff, and it's like, I did some stupid ass shit too when I was young. There are times when I deserved an ass kicking as well, so that's a different thing. But, like I said, it's like, I'm not surprised. People were shocked about what happened. I'm not shocked about it. I'm not. The way things for both sides are, that the extreme right and the left, how bad they've both gotten, I expect more of it because of how bad it has gotten. And the thing is, if people will just live, let live, and just do, be who you want to be more often, as long as you're 18, 21, or whatever. And I mean, the way that so much lesser society is about judging, and religious people about judging people, and others, how extreme, both sides are, it's just ridiculous. I was talking to one guy on Discord. Me and some other guys use it. And we're talking about, you talk a certain way, you gotta expect people to want, to hit you, to take you out. Especially with the power and stuff like that, you gotta expect it and everything. I'm saying, because there's so many people, it's like, especially with the religious views and stuff like that. And there's stuff I agreed with Charlie Kirk on. And stuff, most stuff I say, I don't know how much I disagree, but there's plenty and stuff. And the thing is, my problem is that he was at a university where you should be able to express differences of opinion. And I'd say this is planned. What happened to Charlie Kirk, I'd say is planned. Obviously, the guy had a sniper rifle, it sounds like. It was 200 feet or meters or whatever. And got him in the neck and everything. And at universities, kids are brainwashed at universities about race, religious stuff, and really how the other side, both sides are just like, you should hate a person, or this person has no value to society if they don't conform to our religious values, or this other side, is racist, even if they're not. You're talking about the brainwashing. You see it on the news, the brainwashing, this sickness of news media putting out lies. I'm talking about both sides as well. I'm not talking about one side. But it's just the toxicity of all of it is that I got a problem with that. And it's something that I hate. I know a lot of people don't watch me too because I'm not on one side. I'm mostly in the middle. Unless it has to do with our Constitution and stuff like that. And that's the thing, it's like, I expect stuff like this to happen. I expect it. You talk about, and this is both sides. There's both sides, too as well. I'd say, like I said, the far left is more extreme than the right is. And stuff like that. That's because of religious reasoning. Where the left doesn't have it as much. They're anti-religious, stuff like that. Let me see here. I want to look up Michael Franzese. Hopefully, I don't know. Michael Franzese. I want to see here. Just some of this here. I want to go as just.
Everybody, welcome to another, I don't know what to call this podcast with Michael Franzese. This is actually an emergency podcast. I'm sure many of you are horrendous people. It's horrendous. And I have in front of me whatever live updates we're going to have about this thing as he's in the hospital and we get to hear what's going on.
Also,
let's just pray that he survives. I mean, no young man should go down like this on whatever side he's on, whether it be Republican, Democrat, right or left. I mean, this is horrible stuff. And let me tell you something. If this shook me, if this shook somebody like me who's seen a lot in their life, it should be shaking a lot of people right now. And I want to tell you this, man. I'm angry. I am really angry about this because
this is the thing. I talk a certain way. I expect people to want me dead in some ways. I just, I've been on the streets a lot. I grew up around some violence and some I didn't. I come from a Christian family. At the same time, when I got older, I was around, gay people in gangs and stuff like that. So it's like, he should expect that as well. I think, I don't know, he's just...
Well, you got to understand this. And I've been saying this on my Saturday morning podcast, my live podcast, I've been saying this. All of this is a result of the hateful and divisive rhetoric that's coming from the top, from our leadership. Nobody is going to tell me different.
Yeah.
That's the way it happens. It starts at the top, and it trickles down to people that are imbalanced, that have mental issues, that have problems, and they take it to the next step. They think it's an obligation of theirs to go out and save the world based upon what these politicians say about one another and say about the state of this country. It's horrible.
The thing is, we're the
And I'm
joke.
going to tell you something. It's on both sides, no question about it. But listen, I say what's on my mind and what I see.
Yeah.
This has nothing to do with
Beautiful.
being a Trump supporter in any way, shape, or form. This is what I observe. These people on the left who want you to believe that Trump is going to destroy this country, that Trump is going to eat your babies, that Trump is going to...
He could, you never know. He could decide to go cannibal or whatever. You never know. There's stuff that I'm hating more and more about Trump, but it's like...
to put everybody in jail, that Trump is going to do all of these horrible things. These are the people that are causing this, and it's for one reason only. It's not because they care about you or they care about me. They don't.
They don't.
Trump stands in the way of their maintaining power. That's all this is. I am telling you, that's all it is. I know it. I can see it. I wrote a book about it, Mafia Democracy. These people
There's a
do
lot of
not
truth to
want
that.
to give up their seats of power. That is the bottom line. And they will say anything and do anything. They have no ethical or moral compass when it comes to this. They don't. And what happens? They call each other names. They even resort to cursing one another out, using profanity like we've never heard, years back. Undignified, classless, no-class people talking like this and making people believe that this country is coming to an end because of somebody like Donald
Nice hands, by
Trump.
the way.
It's sick. It's disgusting. It's untrue. It's all a lie, and it's for one for them to maintain power. They don't care about the people. Trust me on that. If they cared about the people, they wouldn't be abusing you of taxpayer dollars. They wouldn't be $37 trillion in debt. They wouldn't be yelling at each other. They wouldn't.
They don't. They put on a show. It's like, this is entertainment these days, in Hollywood. It's a stage. They put on a show. It's a bunch of bullshit. Both sides don't give a rat's ass about us that much. It's about maintaining power. They have NGO groups, not political groups. They have insider trading, both sides. Like I said, people think they have extremist views about politicians or they should be executed for their crimes that they commit. I don't think it's extreme because there's a lot of illegal stuff that goes on. Hundreds of millions of people are being hurt by what the politicians do. That's me. All right? And they are not doing enough for us. What I do see politicians on both sides doing is say it's your fault, it's your fault. Shut the fuck up and do something.
Lying, they wouldn't be the hypocrites that they all are. And I'm sorry. And you know what? Maybe I'm exposing myself by saying this, but I don't care. I really don't care anymore. Something has got to stop. I'm not talking about the people in this country. I'm talking about the leadership. They're the ones that are causing this. And you can lie to yourself. You can say whatever you want. You can make excuses. You can
people say, well, Republicans this, well, Democrats that. Shut the fuck up. Both sides are pieces of shit. I've known politicians personally. Some are still in office. So I know about their lies, their schemes that they weave, and their spider, nets and stuff like that. Their webs that they weave and everything. I know what they do. It's both sides.
Guns, you can do anything you want. But people don't use guns to hurt one another unless they're motivated by something.
They have
motivated by something. And there's something in these cases with these high-profile shootings, whether it be going after Trump or anybody else, it's motivated by the hateful rhetoric that they're hearing from the top. Every day on the news, every day on social media, that's what it is. I have no reason to say this other than this is what I see and what I believe with all my heart. I wouldn't say it. So what am I trying to do now? I'm trying to get them to shut the hell up and stop it. really
It's
care
more
about
out
these
sheep.
people in this country and get together and talk about one another the rightful way. Do what you were elected to do, to help the people,
Good luck.
to govern properly, not to maintain a platform for yourself so that you
This
can.
is something for politicians that I've known personally. Like I said, I've known some. They have a good heart. They come in wanting to change. It's me also wanting to become a lawyer and do law. Then you see that these lawyers, or so many of them, are sleazebags, and they say, hey, if you want laws to change, become a lawyer. It's like, after a while, they said, just make money, forget about teaching law, and a lot of them don't make hardly anything, but some do. Some lawyers will screw you. I've been screwed by a lawyer group, you know. Hope the guy gets cancer, hope to get cancer, stuff like that. But anyways, back to what I was saying, is that, you know, they are motivated by the top and everything. And you have all these people on the news lying. Mainstream news, whether it's Fox or the left, CNN, MSNBC, CBS, ABC, whatever. They're putting out lies. They're saying, hey, they're going to take all your rights away and stuff like that. And the thing is, both sides seem to want to take away people's rights in some way. Or if they don't like our speech, it's terrorism speech. Which there's no such thing. There's no such thing. Or hate speech. It's just freedom of speech. And stuff like that. But, you know, that they're always getting the other side, weaponizing them into terror mode, terrorism mode. And that's not the way it's supposed to be. We're supposed to live together and get along with our commonalities that we have. We all want to have good health care. We all want good jobs, you know, and to have a good home. Not go to Section 8, welfare, Social Security, etc. Not have AI take our jobs. So many different things. And
enjoy all the perks that you enjoy. And if you did an audit on every one of these people, you would see the perks that they enjoy on taxpayers' times, and they don't want to give it up. They absolutely do not want to give it up. Don't let them tell you anything different. I saw it. I witnessed it. I know politicians. I went to Washington. I saw their perks. I know what they get. This is all it is. It's maintaining power and maintaining the ability to earn money off of all of your backs. So now that I've ranted about that and make you all understand this is what it's all about. Don't soft sell it. Don't try to gloss over it. Don't try to say anything else. It's the dangerous, harmful, horrific rhetoric that's coming from the top that's causing these people that are imbalanced. You got to be imbalanced when you take a gun and shoot somebody that you don't know. There's got to be motivated.
I don't think it's so much the people that are imbalanced. I believe politicians are creating this mental. Yeah, it's politicians. They're at fault for doing this. And non-governmental organizations doing this, Soros, other political groups, whether it's religious groups as well, put out disinformation, misinformation, pay news companies to put out an agenda, a propagandist type of, you know, mission, agenda, where, you know, they'll have only their side of the story put out for X amount of money. It's like they pay these news organizations, not just politicians, but NGOs or whatever, CIA as well as been honest, FBI as well, telling news companies, etc., what they should say in news feeds and stuff like that. And they're making the populace mentally unstable. They're the cause of this. They're at the root of these problems. And the more that people listen to this on social media, the more that creates this hate and say, hey, we gotta kill this person, we gotta take him out. And the politicians and these other, whether it's religious groups putting out, creating hate, or if it's the leftist, extreme left that's doing it. I actually, went to that Star Wars girl, Anna. I said, you talk a certain way, you attack a certain people, whether it be the extreme, whether it's the right or the left. People are going to hate you. They're going to want to take you out. If you can't handle it, get the fuck out. Expect people to want to take you out and have a target on you. And if you expect to go on YouTube or a platform and just spout out your opinions, my opinion, without somebody wanting to do something to me or others, you're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking idiot. I've been on the streets where you talk about somebody, they come back at you, expect something to happen to you. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the thing with YouTubers and other social media is that they want to be able to talk a certain way without, having a target. It's like, what do you expect? At the same time, you know what I'm saying? So I've seen different sides of I see how kids and others are brainwashed. I'm talking about people in their 30s, 40s, whatever. Even older people are brainwashed to believe what their politicians tell them. Don't ever believe them. Because they get paid. They get perks. They're making money off the racial lines.
By hatred, by fear, by something. And where does it come from? It's from the people that are spewing it out. And they're all on the top. And the media. Don't let me get away from the media. The media, okay, is just as guilty as these people from the top because they are the ones that report all this garbage.
They're feeding.
They don't hold anybody accountable. It's disgusting what's going on. Let's get back to Charlie a little bit and see if there's any updates here. There's one update that we don't want to hear, and that's, God forbid, his life was taken as a result of this. I'm going to read you some stuff here. Charlie Kirk is a close ally of President Trump, the founder of the nation's preeminent right-wing youth activist organization. He was shot in the neck on Wednesday while speaking at a campus event at Utah Valley University. Cell phone videos posted online showed people running from the event after a gunshot rang out. One video appeared to show, Mr. Kirk's head jerking back as blood poured from his neck. He had been delivering remarks while sitting under a tent with the slogan, "The American Comeback."
You take one of these out, blood just spurts out. That's your job. You don't want that. Both of them, you don't have a chance. One of them is bound up. You try to put a finger right here. Is clawed. It's died, right? Whatever. But you can't just put it out. You gotta like physically put a finger in there and stop it. Yeah, this other part, right here. That feeds it. Your brain, your heart. Alter God, here you go.
A university spokeswoman, Eleanor Trainer, said that Mr. Kirk was struck about 20 minutes after he began speaking on campus. She said a suspect had fired at Mr. Kirk from the Low C Center, a building about 200 yards away. This was a guy that was a sharpshooter. University originally said the shooter had been taken into custody, but officials determined that the suspect had fired at Mr. Kirk from the Low C Center, a building about 200 yards away. This was a guy that was a sharpshooter. University originally said the shooter had been taken into custody, but officials determined that person they had detained, who can be seen in videos posted online, was not the gunman. Another spokesperson Scott Trotter said later, relying on information from the university's police chief, who is coordinating with other law enforcement agencies. His condition right now is unknown, but man, from the blood I saw gushing out of his neck from that video, this is serious. If this man survives, it'll be a miracle. I'm telling you. And that's why we need your prayers and your social media. We must all pray for Charlie Kirk, who has been shot, said President Trump. Thank you, President Trump. We appreciate that very much. A great guy from top to bottom. God bless him. In a post, Gavin Newsom, Democrat of California, called the violence disgusting, vile, and reprehensible. Well, you know what, Gavin Newsom? You're disgusting, vile, and reprehensible also. You really are. Because what you've done to this state, what you've done to the state of California, that's documented, that we can see. Okay? I don't even want to get into that. I don't want to get sidetracked on that. Your rhetoric has been disgusting also. And I have to say this. There's times when Trump disappoints me.
I like he's involved with that. He is. There's a lot of stuff I hate more on. I say this. I'm not voting for any Democrat or Republican or again. They're rats. I hate them both. I'll never vote for either one. Either side again. That's my vote.
I don't like the things that he says. Trump, it's not good. Even though these people are attacking you nonstop, day in, day out.
The thing is, Trump is how you judge people. He makes the situation worse while plays. He's a sociopath himself, and how he acts just like those politicians, psychopaths, etc. They're all in it, and Trump is such a fucking liar. Like I said, I voted for Democrats. I say as well. It's the yin about they're trying to be some type of equalness to everything. And there isn't. It's just they blame each other. They never care about doing anything for all taxation that Newsom does, and people are retards, that piece of shit, and the others in the state. I mean, their IQ out of the house.
Out 24/7 in the media, on the left, everywhere. I get it. But you know what? You got to rise above all of that, President Trump. You're the president of this country. You have to rise above that. You have to set the tone. You have to get up there and say, listen, I'm not going along with any of this rhetoric on the left. They lie to you consistently. They want to make me out to be the worst thing since Hitler. It's all not true. You're going to see that. Believe your life. Don't believe these people lying. It's not going to happen, and I'm not going to go in the gutter with them anymore, because look what happens. This is what needs to be.
The gods of Def Leppard for the 1980s. Those are fucking politicians. There's a nuclear war. Politicians leaders out. Instead, it's us taking out, not them. Isn't this irony? The people that start the wars are protected, not us that don't want it. Yes, I do, but
Be done. I'm serious. It needs to be done. President Trump, you have to set the tone here. As hard as it is, when you're being attacked constantly by these animals out there that want to talk. You know what they are? They're a bunch of cowards. They stand behind their security. They stand behind their position. They stand behind because they know the media is going to get in front. They stand behind all of that, and they talk. They talk and they talk, and they create dissent, and they create hatred and divisiveness. And here's the result. And you know what? A few days ago, August 22nd, I believe, a man that obviously needed to be either in jail or in a mental institution gets up and stabs a young, innocent girl on a train because he believes in his mind he thought that she was saying things about him. He was dreaming it up. But his mother tried to get him.
I've been around people that had friends and stuff like that. Those some people I walk away from on the street corner, because they're this person to say, hey, this guy is talking about you. You take out something, he just they have to worry about taking that motherfucker out.
In jail. He was arrested so many times, and the judge lets him go out on cashless bail. I had $1 million bail on a racketeering case where I was shylocking money, $1 million bail. And they let a guy out that had 18 or 14 or 18 prior arrests with no bail. Arrest for hurting people. That's how sick these people on the left have become. They're pro-criminal and anti-victim. That's what we're becoming. That's what this nation has become. And for all of you that, you want to talk about Trump, it's not about Trump. It's about common sense. What makes sense in this country? Law enforcement makes sense. Deporting people that are here illegally makes sense. It's a law. If you don't like the law, change it. Get off your collective asses, Congress, and change the law. But don't get mad at people that are...
Like all the hell, you have the house and the Senate say abortion illegal, and it's like, no, we tell them to fight against the right about. We have to be outside the people, fight for the people. It's total bullshit. It's a scam. Both sides do this. The right, the left say, hey, we don't want to learn too much on both sides. It's like we want something to fight about. It's all a scam. And we're left to the joke. Or just.
We're trying to enforce it. It's common sense. It doesn't matter who's saying it, whether it be Trump or a Democrat or an independent or any. It's common sense. And this violence, it's common sense. We can't have it. It's like what's going on. This is highly reported because Charlie Kirk is a main person of interest. But what's happening in Chicago every single weekend since the Obama administration, people are dying. Shots ringing out. People are dying every weekend. And they want to get up there and say, we don't need any help. Well, God darn it, yes, you do. Because you're doing nothing to stop it.
It's not the hell. It's not the bitches about their own people. They'll do shit about their own people. They'll kill, illegals are their own people. Killing their own people. They don't give shit about that. It's like why decide whatever. People killing each other, whatever. It makes no sense. Really. It is ridiculous.
I mean, enough of this. When is it going to stop? When is it going to stop? I'll tell you when. When these big mouth hypocrites in Washington and on the state level that want to knock everybody and create hatred and divisiveness, that's when it's going to stop.
Both sides do.
That's when, not before it. But I guarantee you, let a day or two or three go by and you'll see the same thing going on. Guarantee you, there are people out there right now blaming Donald Trump for this. Guaranteed. Guaranteed, because they're
He is to blame for some stuff he's not. There's stuff I hate him about, so. Both sides use a hate train. And it does weaponize and just shows off with some extreme stuff. I don't like that.
cowards, phonies, and hypocrites. And I'm sorry, you know what? I mean, I just cannot get over this. Like I say, I'm stunned because it's Charlie Kirk, because it happened. But I'm not shocked.
I saw that stuff happening. You know, You talk a
You
certain
talk
way
a certain
about
way
certain
about
people. I talk a certain
a
way.
certain way.
You feel like you're here to be a target.
Be a target.
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
How do
How do you not see that happen?
This is on
This is on
either
either
side.
side.
You know, the left or the right. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
You talk a
Talk a
certain
certain way
way about people.
about people.
You have
You have
millions of
followers.
followers. You ever say we gotta
Hey,
take
we
this
gotta take
person
this
out.
person out.
It's too
Too
powerful.
powerful.
It's not just
It's not
words
just
anymore.
words anymore.
And this is why
This is why
YouTube
YouTube
has, you know,
has
these
you know,
things,
these
these services.
service.
If nobody
Says stuff,
it doesn't matter as
matter
much.
as much.
If a guy that has hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands, or whatever,
whatever.
oh, this is about
This is
to
about
us,
to us.
put stuff, that's a lot of
That's a
power,
lot of
it's a lot
power.
of weight.
Off weight.
So that's what
So that's
you
what
gotta do something as well.
as well.
And that's only because they have to worry about law enforcement or being sued. You know, something happens, YouTube is other platforms have to worry about. Those idiots come and say, hey, why did you allow this talk to happen? Well, it's actually free speech, but, you know, if they're getting sued, the law enforcement wants to know their stuff. They don't want to do that either. It's catch-22. But, I mean, what the fuck? What do you expect? There's some people that hate me, want to kill me. That's the way that it is. You should know better than that.
It's
You know, I was talking to other people about this too. You know, it's like, you know, on the streets too, you talk a certain way, you can expect yourself to get attacked, or whatever. To say the streets, but you don't become a target. You go out, you want to do something to you. Like I said, you know, this isn't stuff for pussies either. Watch your back as well. I'd say watch your back. Talk a certain way, expect bad stuff to happen. You gotta expect that. I'm a lot older than Charlie and these other people are. This stuff like that. So I mean,
obvious that these things are going to continue to happen. You let criminals out of jail, you know, with no bail, that have inflicted damage on people time and time again. Well, they're going to continue. There's no consequences. So people get murdered on the train. You let people...
I made videos about how people with mental illnesses, you know, they should be in jail, they should be in mental hospitals. They should be more like the UK, stuff needs to be reopened. Like I said, there's also abuse that's happening in some of these, you know, the older ones, you know, one would get raped, you know, or else nurses, doctors, security would dope a person to death, inject medicine in them, kill them, or bad abuses would happen. I think, you know, we could do better nowadays and stuff like the UK, where people could be monitored and stuff like that. I've done videos on stuff like this before, reports, etc. Yeah, that needs to be done.
people out without bail that have committed crimes over and over and over and over again, serious crimes against citizens. It's going to continue to happen. It's going to continue to happen. When are these people going to wake up and say, enough? This isn't a Trump policy. This is a citizens' policy to keep the citizens of this country safe. Bipartisan condemnation. You know what? I wish I could believe it, but I don't. Because I'm telling you, there's people right now blaming Trump. And there are people within the next 2 or 3 days, they'll be throwing the blame everywhere, except upon themselves.
And they'll be both sides. Keep on saying that's the truth. You It's like I said, I said, something about the fast Star Wars challenge. The count there you say expect to have. Yeah, expectation and stuff like that. Yeah. Talk a certain way about people. My talk a certain way. I could expect some people want to take me out or something. Wake the fuck up. Words is more powerful than any weapon there is. If you want to talk, you're not expect someone to want to, get rid of something or shut you up. Just talk in your own space, your own home. Talk with your friends instead. Don't go on the internet. You don't want that to stay off the internet. That's why I see a lot of content creators. It's that they want to be exempt from haters and stuff like that. And that's not what life is, kiddies. It's not. So, it's not, he's